my mom had at home till she died when I was 12. I wondered, what happens to us when we die? After she died, which led me to investigate the spirit realm. As an adult, I became a nurse and became interested in hospice because I was interested in healing and shamanic. Already believed in angels. It was common for me to believe in and see angels. I saw angels before. I didn't always see angels before hospice, but I started seeing them while I worked in healing. Angels in the ceiling and deceased loved ones at the healing table were common when I worked with patients. So I noticed and thought that was typical. I also saw Jesus enter. Jesus taught me healing and where to touch people. Jesus appeared to me several times, like with Mother Mary. Healing was their goal. My eyes were open when I noticed them. However, while sitting near to dying individuals, they would talk about seeing Jesus, Mary, angels, their sibling, brother, mother, or father. Therefore, they spoke to unseen entities. I normalize it when families relate to me about their loved ones encountering unseen others before transitioning. It's like, this is part of what happens when we die. We see the other world, and we become more mediumistic as this happens. As our bodies get smaller and our spirit gets bigger, we expand our consciousness. We move into that other world. Many people talk about near-death experience, but it also happens when someone really is dying. They experience near-death awareness before dying. So as a medium who can see across the veil, I can see what they're seeing and sometimes something more. When someone transitions, family dynamics alter. In contrast, the family will change their attire in my awareness. Although spirit people don't wear clothes, I think the dead will see them dressed up when they see them. They'll see them in party attire, wedding dresses, suits, and tuxedos. After they dress into formal wear, it's ready, prepare to die in 24 hours. I have a few stories like this, starting with a man holding red flowers. I was going to see a dying woman. We define close to death as actively dying, which usually occurs 3 to 7 days before death. I knocked on her door before entering her apartment, and a spirit guy appeared. He tapped my shoulder and said, "Tell her I'm here," then gave me red roses. Red flowers adorned the bouquet. It felt fantastic to have him touch me. I entered and found her in a coma, unable to speak. Anyway, I informed her, "He's here. I'm letting you know he's here, and he's bringing you red flowers." Then I told the family. I don't always discuss my visions with family. They told me about their visions, but it was so strong, I told the family. A man with red flowers wants to present her flowers and announce his presence. My family was thrilled when I told them. Her spouse sent her red flowers every week, they said. 3 years have passed since their marriage. He was 83, she 86. 3-year marriage to her third spouse. He was her favorite husband, so they were delighted to meet him. She only wanted to meet the husband who brought her red roses, not the other two. That was nice. When she died, I tuned in and asked, "What are they doing now?" I saw them walking in a garden with tons of flowers, holding hands, just as on Earth. They were, and she told him everything since his death. I don't think we die, and neither does your audience. Even though there's just life after death, I'm using die to indicate they transitioned. We know they live and are sentient. This is an example I like to give. Another example is fascinating because it involved many paranormal events. This woman is again comatose and unresponsive, and her family is in the room. I chat to the son, who talks to his plants, which tells me he's unusual. We talked about many topics, which was good. Knowing someone is on my page let me be myself. I can talk to them about talking to plants, dying, angels, etc. A shaman came to my residence to do spiritual cleaning after I left home. Ents was behind him when he finished. They were short and green, behind him, right here. They appeared friendly and said, "Hi, we're here," just staring at me. I remarked, "Oh, you have 3 very green beings behind you," and he said, "Yes, I work with the Arcturians." I thought, "Oh, okay." I had never heard of them. This was 15 to 20 years ago, long before Arcturians were discussed. I did some study on them and found that they aid dying individuals enter the spirit world. Interesting, but I let it go. I visit my dying mom with a man whose son talks to plants. I found lots of fascinating activities when I arrived. I exclaimed, "Oh, there's a spirit over there," and I saw a white spirit hanging out in the corner. I cleared energy by doing a figure eight on the ceiling, and it went away. The man and son remarked, well, yesterday when she wasn't responding, except she said silver spaceship 7 times. She was in a coma and had never mentioned spaceships. Every time they asked, is she still here? The window blinds moved. Their kid said, okay, spirit, pointing to the blinds, you go to that corner. That spirit had been there since the day before. So intriguing. When the family told me she said silver spaceship, they asked me what that meant, and I said, well, you might look up Arcturians and see what you find. I didn't explain what I did at my house or why I thought it might be related to the Arcturians. What's interesting is how we're all connected, therefore my home life affects my patients. Never realized that so much. I meditate before visiting transitioning persons. Seeing them makes me want to be spiritual. So I didn't understand that Ents would help at my place if I had them. I've seen Ents before, yet I still see them often. I see them often. I see more beings. I've never seen a starship, but that's a fantastic story. Near-death consciousness intrigues me. I share this Gorilla Man tale a lot, so you may have heard it. Share this too. I call him the Gorilla Man because he constantly carried a gorilla stuffed animal. So he had a gorilla in hospice. By him always. On his last day, the family called and said, hey, we think he's going to die today. They were more panicked. They urged, hurry, come on out. We think he's going to die today. I went out and agreed. Yes, he appeared to pass that day. The following week, they would reaffirm their wedding vows. They called the minister, got everything ready, brought the minister, the family, and had the wedding in his recliner while he was in a coma, along with another coma patient, and the wife. The clergyman renewed wedding vows while she and he sat in black pajamas close to each other. He woke up. He was humorous and always told jokes. After kissing his wife, he fell back into a coma. After the minister went, the family and I were hanging around, and he woke up again and said, oh, look, the 4 angels and a train in the ceiling, pointing there. He must have repeated it, pointing at the angels and ceiling train. We were so grateful. He saw the angels precisely. His near-death experience. Then he died that night. He murmured, I. Just before he died, the family. Even though he could barely walk, he begged his family to take him to the bathroom. So he fell. When he returned to bed and collapsed on the floor, he died. Our family replied, no, you can't die now. You got to get up. It's time to get back. You have to. So they put him to bed. He died again. At least he died in bed. It was wonderful, yet they were sad. Though sad, they were glad he was in bed and not on the floor. Outside, they went. This is nighttime. The daughter and son spotted 4 angels and a train in the skies when they stepped outside. I like that story because it demonstrates how the family may experience what their dad did. Today, I saw Archangel Azrael, a huge angel. One of my patients' beds had Azrael at the foot or head. This lady, I have a few things to say. Family holding you and saying, don't go, don't go. Makes dying harder, but sometimes we have to let them go, and this family was holding on tight. She was holding on tight because she had 5 kids and was just 40. However, when her time came and the family had to go, a caretaker and I watched over her. I occasionally see sparkles in angels. I sometimes see angels with wings and sometimes without wings, just a bright light. This one was light. The purple glow was huge and gorgeous. My estimation is 20 feet. It was huge. They also had a lofty ceiling. This angel must have shrunk to be there, yet it was purple and warm and kind. She felt immense power, strength, protection, and certainty that she wouldn't make a mistake. Not that we'd go wrong, but she was so, like, this is the pathway, this is where we're going, and I'm here for you. This huge, soft purple angel. The purple angel was flanked by 2 pale green angels. I saw no wings. How do I know they were angels? Only now do I know. At the time, I thought they were powerful beings with wings, but sometimes we see them as wings, so they may not have wings. No idea. However, the 2 green ones were smaller and felt powerful, like guards, saying, I'm going to guard you, making sure everything's okay. I saw the lights above her with her for 3 days with my eyes open. I saw other spirit beings that looked like humans one day. I saw 3 on each side of her lining up with their hands above her body, about this far, sending her healing. She was healing before leaving the spirit world. That's neat. There is also, I saw myself. We'll discuss it soon. I imagine spirit healing centers, but these beings gave her healing for 2 days, and she wasn't responsive. On the last day before she died, the angels and healers were gone. At least she was breathing. But then I saw with my spirit eyes. I wondered where she went because everyone went. Everyone went where? I saw her in a wedding dress, standing beautiful, and I watched her. However, she was walking alone toward me. I saw no one with her. She walked alone. She had a wedding dress with flowers in her hair, orange-red flowers in her bouquet, and candles along her pathway. So I thought it was all gold light behind her, like a golden sunset, and she walked this. It was gorgeous, and she looked like she hadn't looked like that in a while. Even though she was breathing, she looked happy and peaceful. It was nice that she was walking into the light. When practicing shamanism, I asked my team, where will I go when I die? Where will I go? And they showed. I was shown that I would travel to the stars as fast as possible. I remember it was fast, and that someone was with me, but I don't know who. I saw healing centers where people were sitting around talking, healing, and processing. People were also healed in bed at a healing center. No doubt, there were other healing centers. I saw kids playing, flying kites, and having fun. That's an intriguing healing center, but I knew it was one. Interesting that the spirit realm has healing centers like Earth does. Yes, let me share another experience. I have many since I did this for so long. I instantly recall a few that stand out right. This lady was relaxing in the garden. We sometimes ask, well, why is she not going? She's still here. Where is she, though? People sometimes go slowly. Not just. They might go to an intermediate place, but I could see one lady in my mind's eye, her body still alive in a garden, having fun with butterflies, birds, and flowers. There was no rush for her to leave. So I think this happens too. 2 worlds, right? Earth has a world. Very loving. A loving spirit world exists. Our middle question is, which way do I go? Should I go that way or this? I think everyone experiences this. Finally, letting go is necessary before crossing the veil. So I remind families that we must let go when we leave. Yes, Buddhists have I like their approach. Simply unattack. Don't get attached to cars, houses, or people, right? Without attachment, you can let go easier. When these things are detached, flying is easier. I think that's crucial. I want to discuss. One time, I know I'm jumping between stories. I visited a priest after he died. He was gone 30 minutes when I arrived to pronounce. And I spoke to family. They told me he was a great man and loved, which is great. And I go to, even though I know he's gone, just make sure. I take his pulse and everything, draw closer, enter his field, and am transported to. It's like entering another world. You could call this a shared death experience because I crossed. Flowers were everywhere to me. Beautiful roses surround him. There was organ music and he had priests around him. And the priests dressed alike. Everyone wore white, and he was. It was so welcoming for him. It was great to be so close. Moving away puts me out of that world. So when I enter someone's energy field, which is usually 3 feet out, it's easier for me to share in that experience than when I'm farther out. What else can I show or tell you? I saw Jesus carry people. I saw Jesus lift, and not even me. This was seen simultaneously by others. Jesus carried someone away while the families watched. I've seen that twice. Very intriguing. I've seen dogs visit dying pets. They also want to be there, right? As we prepare to leave, many spirit beings visit us. Your pets, dogs, horses, cats, goldfish, maybe even more important than your people, but they're the ones who pull you across the love divide. They'll choose the most important one to take you to the afterlife. Yes, I saw these 2 dogs meet the lady, and her son did too. Actually dreamed about it. After days of wondering, why is she still here? The son had a dream about it, and she died that day. We sometimes meet people we don't want to. Maybe they were mean to us or we were mean to them, right? Both ways are possible. A woman felt she wasn't nice to someone. When she was 104 and dying, I thought this was her close day, but she changed her mind. I saw a big white angel at the head of her bed and a man at the foot when she was dying. He wore black. They wear black suits or tuxedos when it's close. They usually dress in formal attire. Okay, but she decided not to die that day and came back, and I asked, well, what's wrong? She said, I didn't want to see him, and he won't forgive me. So she thought she was mean to him. A few days later, she starts dying again, and she does, but the man is gone, and the big white angel is there. And I didn't. I'm sure there were others, but I didn't notice the black-suited man. So, that's an example. I want to see where and how we're doing in our time is unknown. Ah, good. Yes, I see. Just seeing what else. Here. Oh, all right. Sometimes, when we have a strict religious background, heaven and hell, that feeling can hold. That can cause death anxiety. Okay, so I had a client man. He came from a religious family and was a minister. He was 80 and had ministered for 60 years. He was agitated and anxious as he died. He couldn't stay home. We hospitalized him because he was agitated and scared. We had to give him a lot of medication to calm him down. After dying, he told me he saw angels but was still scared or agitated. Very intriguing. Yes, we die differently. I think we should heal as much as possible before crossing over. I think forgiving ourselves and others, letting things go, detaching, and letting go of old hurts will help us transition. If we transition easily and live our lives as much as we can in a healing way, we can enter the spirit world already elevated and ready to see our world, a new world, and be prepared. I now believe there are many masters and guides who may or may not look like humans on earth. Jesus may not look like him. He, Buddha, Krishna, Kuan Yin, or other masters may. I think there are many beings of light, and sometimes spirit world archangels don't have wings. They may look alien different or like tall lights. So maybe we can just open our minds to many possibilities beyond our human experience and be ready for that magnetic pull, right? That pull when crossing. We can invite our team. Who should meet us? We can ask for our parents, Buddha, or whoever makes crossing the most comfortable. Planning ahead and knowing you're never alone are good things. No one's ever alone. Nobody, animal, tree, or human, is ever alone. We're all rising, as you know. I think most of us know this. To know that our wisdom as multidimensional beings is our true power and not limit the unlimited of who we are as we embark on our new adventure across the veil.